This morning, Brandi.
We love the sound of that.
Yeah.
Maybe keep all your rain gear on the back seat just in case.
Just in case.
It's down to your street. Speaking of streets, no problem spots out there. Let's take a live look outside. This is I-10 at Sheffield Highway. And like I said, I-10 westbound, you're starting to see a whole lot more cars hit the road. This will be one of those first cameras where I can see a slight slowdown later this morning once we're in that prime time hour of commuting. It's still pretty early, 6 o'clock on the dot on this Tuesday. Let's look at the maps. This is the high-rise bridge coming out of New Orleans East. Like I said, I-10 westbound, you're going to see a constant increase of cars as we reach that prime time hour of commuting with peak volume. If you're coming across the high-rise bridge, averaging 65 miles an hour, once you get to the top, it will start to slow down over the next hour though. But right now, things look fantastic. Looking at the NO Metro, this is I-10 at Williams, I-610 at Canal Boulevard, green light all across the metro area. No congestion spots, no problem spots that have started to build just yet. That's some really, really good news for all of our commuters. And then on up to the North Shore, this is I-12 at I-55 interchange, I-12 west of Highway 11, Hammond to Slidell on 12 and on US 190 definitely have the green light. Drive times, everybody has the green light to go ahead and hit the road for this early morning part of the commute. Again, we all know things can change. This is US 90 at Magnolia, and as you can see, things look really, really good. Even, things look really good here. One thing, if something does develop though, I'll be the first to bring it to you right here on WDSU.
Brandi B, thank you so much.
Raven, 6:19 on this Tuesday morning. Good morning, friends. Starting off with a live look at I-10 at the Claiborne flyover, and as you can see, volume starting to pick up, but on the map, no congestion, no delays to report for you, averaging 35 miles an hour. So that's some good news for all my folks that are already on the roadways, headed towards the CBD so far this morning. But looking at the NO Metro, this is I-10 at Williams facing westbound, I-10 at Norman C. Francis. You're seeing a lot more cars on the road, but according to the map, no areas of heavy congestion, no slowdowns, delays, looking like green lights so far across the metro area this morning. Now let's take it on over to the West Bank. This is the Crescent City Connection Bridge. See that pretty pink in the sky because the sun is starting to come up. Just giving you an idea of what that HOV lane looks like if you're coming across the Crescent City Connection Bridge from the West Bank so far this morning. And speaking of the West Bank, General de Gaulle camera showing us again just a handful of cars out there. West Bank Expressway definitely has the green light as folks approach the Crescent City Connection. Ferries, both of your ferries are rolling on the river. They are in operation so far this morning, and drive times for all my West Bank commuters looks mighty fine. Look, everybody has the green light to go ahead and hit the road on this Tuesday. And then looking out over at I-10 Norman C. Francis, looks like a whole lot more cars. No real slowdowns, no delays, and the best part, no crashes to report for you. If something does develop, I, of course, will push it to your phone through the WDSU News app.
All right, Brandi, thank you. Tropics, yeah, 2 areas of interest we got to talk about but for this morning, though, at least things are quiet for the drivers.
Quiet for the drivers.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the sound of that. You ain't got to take my job the way
I know,
Daryl's taking Morgan's, you know what I'm saying?
Place.
We got to stay hand in hand. But this morning, you're right, no weather impacts out there on the roadways. And of course, it's still it was 6:31, so we are approaching that prime time hour of commuting. Don't know why my camera got out of focus, but this is I-10 at the high-rise bridge. It really was giving us this beautiful wide shot of the sunrise, and now it's out of focus. What you can't see, nothing but headlights. So that means that there's no problem spots, no congestion, no delays, and no flashing lights. There's no crashes in the area. Looking at the high-rise bridge, I am starting to pick up small areas of congestion, which is typical. Now, when you get to the top, it'll clear up, averaging 65 miles an hour. But again, we're approaching that prime time hour of commuting where we'll have peak volume out there on the roads. And I lied. It looks like a crash has popped up on I-10. It looks like that's I-10 westbound. I have to do some investigating. I-10 at Williams, I-610 at Canal Boulevard. Maybe it's right past 610, right past the I-10-610 split, and that's because I'm seeing all these red brake lights develop here on I-610 at Canal Boulevard. So big time problem spot is developing out there. Of course, I'm going to have more information coming up for you later on in the morning. Looking up at the North Shore, things look fine there. So I'm going to do some investigating about what is going on right past the 10-610 split or merge on I-10. And have some more information coming up for you in the next few minutes.
45 right now. Some breaking traffic news you know about with Brandi B. Harris. Brandi.
That's right. Big breaking news if you are about to hit the roadways at 6:45. This is I-10 westbound, just past the Orleans-Jefferson Parish line. And as you can see, this is still a very active scene. I've been sitting at my computer watching EMS roll up. This is a very active scene with the crash. I see police, DOTD, fire, and EMS all on the scene. And I watched some DOTD workers go across here. And now it's down to just 1 lane or 2 lanes. I can't really tell right past this arrow right here. I see them over there putting out cones. It's definitely causing some congestion and delays, and you'll want to be aware of that. Again, this is just past the 610 merger with I-10 westbound, and look at the congestion. This is the 10, 610, 17th Street Canal camera, and I pulled this up just so you can see how quickly the congestion and delays are building as far as I-10 westbound goes. If I were you, I would definitely take another route if this is your normal route in the morning. And again, the congestion is just really, really, really quickly building. Again, this is that 10, 610 West End Boulevard camera, just showing you how far the backups are. So this is going to continue. I'm working to get that pushed to your phone through the WDSU News app. But looking at it here, this is I-610 at Canal Boulevard. I use this camera every single day, and this is hardly ever like this. And you see that sea of red brake lights. You're also starting to see the red brake lights build up at I-10 at Williams, but that'll clear up in Metairie on I-10 eastbound. But I-10 westbound definitely causing some problems. Drive times for most of my drivers is increasing, but this is going to cause quite the delay. As you can see, it's still a very active scene. I'm working to get as much information as I can to make sure that you know everything you need to know before you hit the road. Now, of course, there's no weather impacts for this, so that's the one sign of good news. 6:56, and I have good news. Progress is being made at that crash I told you about on I-10 westbound just past the 17th Street Canal. As you can see, they have now moved the vehicles involved over to their far right shoulder, probably going to take them to the next exit up, which is Bonneville. And I'm looking at DOTD here. They're picking up these cones. They right now have 2 left lanes blocked, but that is improving. You're watching them improve, but look at the congestion and the delays clearly are going to last, because this is just heavy backups, and you see it here. Again, this is on I-10 westbound, right where I-10, 610 both merge with each other. So make sure that you are prepared for that. I-10 at Williams already seeing backups. I-610 at Canal Boulevard, like I told you, just prepare to take another route or just be prepared to be sitting in some traffic right now. Drive times are being bumped up for most of our drivers. Let's take a live look outside, and we're making a whole lot of progress. That's some good news, even though there's still flashing lights.